Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Ascot Racecourse here on Saturday. It is July the 27th, 2019. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on the program from Ascot, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and also check out my Saratoga Jim Dandy preview video, and join me today and tomorrow for some Deauville previews for the good group races there in France. But today's card from Ascot's King George Day. Excellent card of racing, and you have a great King George this year. And another thing, because it just came to my mind. Remember, another thing to plug before we go on to the races. Remember to join me next Tuesday for the beginning of the Glorious Goodwood meeting. So let's get that out there. But let's get to the stakes action on today's program from Ascot. We're going to look at all the graded stakes races and listed stakes. We're going to look at races 1, 4, and 5. So the 150, the featured 340, and the 415. So let's get on to it. The first race, the 150, it is the Group 3 Princess Margaret Stakes. It's a Group 3 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse $64,000. Race for 2-year-old fillies only. Field of 12 horses going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the Ascot lawn, the turf course. The course is going to be a little wetter than it should be because they are getting some rain today. It was so warm in the UK the last few days or so, but there was some rain into Friday and Saturday, so it's going to have a little moisture into it, but that's always a good thing here. But the top selection, I'm going to go with the 10-horse Summer Romance. I'm going to go 10-6-3 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 10-6-3 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, 10-horse Summer Romance. Roughly by Kingman here. Godolphin Doan, Charlie Appleby trains. James Doyle gives the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came 29th of June at Newmarket. 6 furlongs in a fillies listed stakes. Stepping up to the winners for the first time and to stakes quality horses. The horse did everything right and more. Won by a half a dozen lengths that day at 83 cents to the dollar. She quickened up nicely and just took off clear. It was a very impressive victory. Actually, both of the horses' starts were very impressive. Before that, Yarmouth on the 13th of June, 6 furlongs soft ground and Class 5 maidens fillies. She won by 2 lengths and at 62 cents to the dollar. Again, she only had 3 other rivals, but she still won quite impressively on that very heavy going or very soft going. She's proven she can run on soft and firm ground. She's proven she could sprint. She's a good poster here today, and I think she'll handle Ascot. I've noticed some of the horses that can handle the July course in Newmarket can't handle this course here, so I think that's a good thing. And like I said, looking at all the other horses here, nobody even comes close to her bad run, which was the Yarmouth race. But I like her a lot. Even money, it's a ship price, so we'll have to hit the Tri-Cast to make some extra money here. So here's my Tri-Cast to recap my selection for the first 150 from Ascot, which is the Group 3 Princess Margaret Keeneland Stakes. Can't speak now. I'm going to go with the 10-horse Summer Romance. I'm going to go 10-6-3 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta here. So now let's get to the featured 4th race from Ascot, which is the Group 1 King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes. It's a Group 1 race for Class 1 horses, going for a purse $1.6 million here. So a lot of prize money on the offer. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 11 horses going 2,400 meters or 1.5 miles on the Ascot lawn, the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 8-horse Enable. She looks hard to beat. Well, there might be a long shot play here. We'll talk about it a little bit, but we'll go 8-10-7 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. That's going to be the main way to make money with this race. 8-10-7 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, though, is the 8-horse Enable. She's drawn Juan Bear, number 11. Jedmon owned. John Gosden trains a lot. Franco Dettori gets the leg up on this 5-year-old mare by Nathaniel. The horse's most recent outing came the 6th of July at Sandown, a mile quarter in the Group 1 Coral Eclipse, and she wasn't 100% that day, but she still got the job done. She won by 3/4 length at 67 cents to the dollar. She quickened up nicely, and it was a very good run. Even at the trip, she doesn't like 1.25 miles. She's more of a 1.5 mile horse, and I think here, second off the break, 1.5 miles. Second off the break, she's just going to run that better race. Before that, 3rd of November at Churchill, 1.5 miles, good to soft yielding ground in the Grade 1 Brews Cup turf. She won by 3/4 length. Frankie took her to the right part of the turf course, which is the middle part, because the turf course at Churchill drains towards the inside. But towards the outside, the ground was firmer. She quickened up, and she beat Magical Homes, become the first horse to win the ARC and the and the Breeders' Cup Turf in the first year, in the same year, excuse me. She just won very impressively that afternoon, and then before that, in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe at Longchamp on soft ground, she won by a nose. She had to be used a lot that day, but she ran a very good race. She showed some heart there, but Sea of Class was closing up on her late. May she rest in peace, Sea of Class. And then before that, she ran in the September Stakes at Kempton, mile and a half. In her seasonal reappearance, she won by 3.5 lengths, and she did everything right that afternoon. And then she won the Arc at Chantilly the year before on yielding ground. She could handle moisture in the ground. She could also handle firm ground. She's back to the mile and a half trip. I expect her to run well, so I'll take her. But say there is a horse. Say Enable's not 100% today, and she's not going to do it. There's a horse. I'm going to watch the odds board. If the 10 horse Anthony Van Dyke goes to a nice odds, I might do a small each way on him. Ryan Moore's on this one for Aidan O'Brien and the Coolmore Group. 3-year colt by Galileo. This horse is kind of going under the radar, I think, this week. But his most recent outing came in the Irish Derby, and he just ran a good second place finish behind Sovereign that day. Sovereign had everything his way, but this horse, he just closed up well late. It wasn't the world's worst race for him. I think with a quicker pace here on softer ground, I expect him to run a lot better. Before that Epsom in the English Derby, he won by half length, and shame you have for him. Rode probably the race of his life that afternoon. He had to weave in and out. He got there in the end. It was a very impressive run for him. And then the Linkfield Derby trial, the horse won by 2.5, and he did everything right there. Even his two-year-old races, he did everything right. He's going to see, like I said, a quicker pace than he saw in the Irish Derby, he's bred to go the trip. He has a good post ride, 8-1. If his odds drift up to say 12-1 here in the States on the tote, I would probably back him. I have to look at the European markets. If I would get 12-1, I would do small each way on him just for shits and giggles. But Enabled still does look like the horse to be, and if the good Enable's on today, I don't think anybody's going to catch her. But if she isn't on today, I think Anthony Van Dyke would be a strong long shot play. But to recap my selection for the fourth, the 340 from Ascot, to Group 1, King George and Queen Elizabeth Stakes, let's take the number 8 horse Enable as a top selection. Like I said, our price play will be the 10 horse Anthony Van Dyke. We'll go 8-10-7 in the TriCash trifecta. So we're going to head over to race number 5 now, the 415, which is the Pat Eddery Stakes. It's a listed stakes for Class 1 horses, going for a purse $38,500. Race for 2-year-olds only. Field of 7 horses, going 1,400 meters. There's 7 furlongs on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to take the 7 horse Sun Power. I'm going to go 7-3-2 in the TriCash trifecta. 7-3-2 TriCash trifecta. Top selection, 7 horse Sun Power. I can't speak today. I'm a little tongue-tied, but this 2-year colt by Knight of Thunder. Ocean Murphy gets leg up for Richard Hannon. The horse's most recent outing came 22nd of June here at Ascot during the Royal Meeting. 7 furlongs in the listed stakes. The horse finished 4th by 6 3/4 lengths, net 33 cents to the dollar. He just had nothing. I don't know if the big field had something to do with it, but he just didn't show up. It wasn't the day to win. I think coming back here to a lesser quality race, I expect him to run a lot better. Before that, he ran at Wolverhampton 3rd of June, 6 furlongs in a Class 5 novice. He did everything right. He won by 2 lengths at 3-1 with the heavyweight. He quickened up nicely. It was just an all-around good effort. And then at York, firm ground, 5 furlongs in a Class 3 novice, finished 5th by 6 3/4 lengths. He was moving very late in the race. I don't know if the 5 furlong trip was to his liking, but I'd like him to the 7 furlong trip today. Even a little bit longer in the future should suit him. But I like the wide posture. Ocean Murphy up. I'll take him here at 10-1 in this very wide open race. So to recap my selection for the 5th, the 415 from Ascot, it is the Pat Eddery Stakes, named after the great rider here. My top selection, I'm going to take the 7 horses Sun Power. We'll go 7-3-2 in the TriCash trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.